All right, so welcome everybody to the Gould Construction Institute open house. I hope everybody's having a good day today. It is a wonderful sunny day here in Woburn, Mass. Share my screen again here, and we're going to get started. So again, welcome everybody to the open house. This is the Gould Construction Institute. We've been around since 1983, and this is the first virtual open house that the Gould Construction Institute's ever had. So thanks to the pandemic, right, we're able to tour the school, speak to the staff, speak to the teachers, and see what Gould's all about from the comfort of our own couch. A quick little video here we're going to play from Mr. Mike Rowe. Hope everybody can hear it okay.
Look, I've got nothing bad to say about a college education, really. I have one, I wouldn't trade it for anything. And if you have the desire and the money to pay for a four-year degree, I say go for it. But look, we need to stop promoting higher education at the expense of every other form of learning. It's just crazy. It leads to unintended consequences. And right now we got a big one. It's called a skills gap. And the skills gap is bad news for anybody who's addicted to paved roads or electricity or indoor plumbing. Welders, plumbers, electricians, carpenters, steam fitters, pipe fitters, all across the country, there are shortages in these areas, even with unemployment going through the roof. It's crazy. 50 years ago, those jobs were critical. They still are. The problem is we just don't value them the way we used to. So we don't encourage people to pursue them. We're so focused on getting into the corner office, we forgot how to build a corner office.
All right, so that was a message from Mr. Mike Rowe.
I've got nothing.
All right, here's what we're going to go over today. I'm going to go over what Gould Construction Institute is and who we are and what we do for ABC members. We have an opportunity to speak to a few of the teachers that work for the Gould Construction Institute. We'll talk a bit about some rules and expectations, as well as the schedule, the supplies that are needed to go to the school, what you're going to learn and how we teach the curriculum. We'll talk about grading policies, some important forms, and at the end we'll have some questions and answers. Please, if you have any questions during the presentation, just go ahead and ask them. I'll try to stop a few times to gauge where everybody's at, but please feel free. This is a virtual open house. You can ask questions at any time if you have anything you want us to go over. And we have a lot of people in the room today that are quite knowledgeable, that have been with the ABC and GCI for years, so they can help us answer any questions if you have any questions. So we're going to start off by talking to the ABC and GCI staff. First up is going to be the GCI staff, and I'm going to turn it over to Julie Stefano, the school president.
Thank you. Welcome, everybody. So we're just going to kind of give a little highlight of who we all are and what we do, and just to give an overview of who to call for what, and how we interact with each other and what our roles are. So again, Julie Stefano, I'm president of the school. And in my role, I am primarily responsible for the strategic planning and direction of the school. And I couldn't do that without an amazing team that I have that works all of us together. In addition to seeing the overall operation of the school, my other primary functions are board representation for the GCI board, as well as liaison to the Associated Builders and Contractors board as well, just to make sure that that communication and dialogue between both organizations is constant and that there's good collaboration. So that's another function. And then my favorite function would be relationship builder, which I love, and that is representing all the school, ABC, Building Mass Careers, on various industry boards, state licensing boards, advisory councils, and then also working in collaboration with Steve in workforce development, any kind of opportunities that we have to do, just sharing information about the school and what we do with high schools, and different people that we come across where we can just get the word out about the opportunities in construction and how important that is. So that's primarily what I do, and happy to be here and look forward to hopefully meeting some of you at some point. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Appreciate it.
Excellent. Thank you, Julie. Diane?
Great. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Julie. I am Diane Craven, the Education Director, and I am primarily responsible for new program development as well as the program administration and the craft championship that we do here locally that we then send on our apprentices to ABC National to compete. So that's a little bit about what I do.
Excellent. Thank you, Diane. My name is Mike Maloney. I am the Instructor Liaison Director here for the school. And it's my job to be the go-between the school and the teachers. So if the teachers have anything they need, they come to me. And if they need anything to help them do their job better, that's what I'm here for. And then Crystal, Julie, do you want to talk about Crystal?
Yes, Crystal, she is our finance person, manager. She's responsible for, obviously accounts receivable, payable, and all our financial reporting for the school, invoicing, tuitions, payments, so forth.
Excellent. Thank you. And Allison?
Thanks, Mike. Hi, my name is Allison Jackson. Welcome, everybody. Thank you all for coming. I am the Marketing and Communications Coordinator for Gould Construction Institute. I've been with the company for about 3 years, and I manage all of the social media, marketing, communication, outreach for the school.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Jeff?
Good afternoon. I'm Jeff Canoyer. I'm the Education Coordinator here at Gould. I've just finished up my first year after 25 years of teaching in public school. My primary job is to coordinate, schedule, coordinate, and manage all courses, safety courses, continuing education, prep courses, and I also manage the correspondence program.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Jeff. And then Heather?
Yeah, I'm Heather Bick. Thank you all for showing up and seeing what we have to offer. I'm the apprenticeship coordinator for both GCI and ABC. I assist Diane and Steve with onboarding new students. I also keep track of the attendance for the students. Working with Steve, we work one-on-one with the state to get people their licenses approved and renewals approved. And thank you for showing up.
Excellent. So that is the Gould Construction Institute staff. Any questions for any of us before we move on to the ABC staff? All right, so moving on to the ABC staff, we're lucky to have Greg with us today. Greg, did you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Thanks, Mike. Greg Beeman. I'm the Chief Staff Officer for ABC. And in that role, I oversee the staff, work with our board of directors, work with Julie and the Gould team as well. A lot of our agenda items are collaborative. So the Gould's one of our best resources, and it's great to see that it is growing and there's a lot of interest. So look forward to answering any questions. I know I speak for all of us, and glad you're all with us. So thanks.
Excellent. Thank you, Greg. Appreciate you being here. Glad you can make it. Steve Sullivan, you're next.
Yeah, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for jumping on board today. This is great. My name's Steve Sullivan. I'm the Director of Workforce Development and Apprenticeship with the ABC Massachusetts chapter. I work hand in hand with Heather and a lot with Julie and her team to do workforce development, outreach, talk to kids at high schools, community-based organizations, just trying to get more people into the construction employment pipeline. Thank you.
Excellent. And then you talked to Heather a minute ago. So Heather splits her time between the ABC and the GCI side. And then next up is going to be Venus.
Hi, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Thank you for joining us. I am Venus Williams, the Membership Director at ABC. I'd like to just talk a little bit about what some of the benefits are of being a member of our great association. Safety, numerous committees, including human resources, political advocacy, networking at events like Meet the Generals, ICA and Safety Night, member discounts, discounts at GCI, career development, leadership and management training, state-approved apprenticeship program, insurance, self-insurance, workers' comp group, and access to labor attorneys are among many of the benefits that we offer. And if you'd like to know any more about any of these great benefits, please feel free to reach out.
Excellent. Thanks, Venus. And then Brendan, brand new to the ABC staff. Welcome. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. My name is Brendan Peltier. I'm the Director of Public Affairs here, again, going on to my first week, as Mike was saying. So I do a lot with the legislative work in terms of the legislation bills that are coming through up at the State House, and then all of the public affairs with the newsletters that we'd send out and all communication externally. And I'm excited to join the team. I have a background in higher education, and I felt the systemic circle of telling folks that college is needed to be successful, I couldn't be a part of anymore. I know many of my friends who got into the construction field are in much paying jobs than I am, full pensions, full everything in terms of setting themselves up for the future. So I think it's important to start teaching and making sure it's known that construction is a field where you can be very successful and you can make a lot of money as well. You don't just have to go to college to be successful.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you, ABC staff. Appreciate that. Anybody have any questions for the ABC staff before we move on? All right, moving on. All right, so why are we here today, right? So we're going to talk about what is the Gould Construction Institute. And like I said at the very beginning, the school has been around since 1983. It has been the training affiliate to the Associated Builders and Contractors of Massachusetts. And we are proud to offer Con-Trend Craft Training to standardized training programs for the construction and maintenance industry. So for more than a decade, Con-Trend has been a leader in construction training. We are fully licensed by the Massachusetts Department of Professional Licensure and the Office of Private Occupational School Education, and that we are approved by the following boards: so the National Bureau of Apprenticeships Training, the Board of Massachusetts Electrical Examiners, the Department of Public Safety, the Board of State Examiners of Plumbers and Gas Fitters, the Bureau of Pipe Fitters, Refrigeration Technicians and Sprinkler Fitters, and the Board of Examiners of Sheet Metal Workers. We are a school, so we're here to teach and train and make your employees better, make people better. Additional information about the school: companies and employees might participate in state-approved apprenticeship programs and utilize GCI courses to fulfill related instruction requirements. We do have firms and companies that seek to train apprentices in courses not listed on our website. If you see something that's not there, please reach out to us. We can try to build a program for you. And our staff will assist in the development of state-approved in-house training programs. All of our classes meet or exceed the standards of apprenticeship approved by the Department of Labor and Industries. So we're doing what we can to make the classes better, make the students better, make the apprentices better. And we do offer correspondence training. It goes on all the time. Well, we offer training in the following trades: so bricklayer, cement mason, carpentry, concrete finishing, construction craft laborer, electrical, glazing, heavy equipment, HVAC, insulation, ironworking, masonry, and painting. So we do offer those classes through correspondence. Now to turn over to Diane. She's going to talk a bit about some of the hours that we have set up for the classes.
Okay, thanks, Mike. So again, last year we instituted more hours for each trade. In Springfield, we do 168 hours because there was nowhere for those students to go to make up hours. So in order to keep them under the approved, to get them to the approved number of hours, we added a lot more out in the Springfield, Westfield area. So we thought that worked really well, and we instituted three more classes for this past school year, and we will continue to do that. So for electrical, HVAC, pipe fitter, sprinkler fitter, and sheet metal, it'll be 159 hours. Again, we'll keep the 168 out in Springfield and Westfield, and plumbing and gas fitting have 120 hours. So there's 3 additional classes in everybody's school year. We know things happen and something comes up, can't make class. We're giving them 3 extra classes so that they're comfortable in doing that. Any additional classes that they would need to make up would cost $50 for makeup class.
Any questions on the hours of the classes? Excellent. Thank you, Diane. And then Diane's just going to talk a bit about the classes that we do offer.
Sure. So in addition to our trade classes, we do offer a variety of safety programs. We have the hot work certification, confined space entry, fall protection, first aid, lockout, tagout. and signal and rigging classes that are here in our Woburn office. Or if there's a need in your company and you want to have us come to your company, we can also do that as well. But these are our in-person classes. We also offer some career development classes such as crew leader, some field engineering classes, and plan reading classes. Then we have a variety of online programs that can be done at your own pace. In the online programs, we have Introduction to Construction, Hot Work, a basic construction math course, another blueprint reading course, and a career readiness boot camp. Again, all you can do at your own pace once you sign in. We have some license prep classes that we offer, the CSL prep for the exam, hoist licenses, pipe fitter prep, and sheet metal prep. And then to go along with those classes, you have your continuing ed classes for the same electrical, the electricians, CSL, plumbers and gas fitters, hoist license, any of your continuing ed classes.
Excellent. So that's a lot to digest. Does anybody have any questions about that? Does anybody want to ask more about it or talk more about it or know more about it? All right. So moving on. So again, like we said in the very beginning, we do offer different types of training programs. We can also design, build, and deliver a custom training experience if a company requests it, right? To find out what's currently being offered, please visit the calendar tab at the top of the GCI website. If you not see a program and you're interested in having us put something together for you, please email Jeff. He's the education coordinator. He'll get back to you. And if we have a sufficient number of companies or individuals contact us, we can add programs as needed. We love adding more and growing more and doing more. So if you see a specific need, we can help fill that need for you.
Mike, if you don't mind, I'd just like to piggyback off of the training classes.
Sure.
We do have a number of classes that are available to register for right now that we will be offering in person. And you can see that on our calendar at gwgci.org/calendar. Or if you just go to our homepage and click the calendar icon in our menu, we have everything listed there as well.
Great catch. Thank you, Allison. That was awesome. All right. One of the good things about the school is that we do have 12 convenient locations throughout the state of Massachusetts. So we're as far north as Andover in Massachusetts, as far east as Chatham down the Cape. We do have classes in Franklin, down in Plymouth Community College, down at Cape Cod Community College, down in Taunton, as far out west as Springfield, North Adams, Holyoke. So we're all over the state. All right. And that's all subject to the pandemic. So right now, this is what we offer for right now. Depending on where we're going to be due to the pandemic, this could change, but this is as of right now. All right, next up will be Meet the Teachers now. We're very fortunate to have Mr. Paul Aslan. He's a GCI instructor for us, been here for a number of years. He is now going to introduce himself.
Thank you, Michael. My name is Paul Aslan. I teach the electrical trade for GCI. I've worked for the same electrical contractor since the early 80s. And the contractor I work for has been a longtime ABC member. And in the early 2000s, I was asked if I would teach for GCI, as they wanted to bring the program from out east to out west. And I was fortunate enough to be hired and allowed to teach these young people the trade. And it's been very rewarding for me, and I really enjoy it. It's definitely a labor of love. I'm involved in a bunch of other organizations, you know, the International Association of Electrical Inspectors, the treasurer, and also the secretary, the wiring inspector for the town of Russell. And I also do 15-hour continuing ed classes, but everything that I do and everything I'm involved with, I enjoy GCI the most. So it's a great school. They got a great staff, and I would advise any contractors or any students, potential students out there to jump on board with these folks, because these guys are the real deal, and they care about the students and they do a really good job. So if you guys have any questions, I'll be here for the rest of this webinar, and I'm happy to answer them. But other than that, hope to see you at a class someday.
Excellent. Anybody here have any questions for Paul?
I think we should do a shout out about Paul's most recent award.
I was going to get there.
Sorry.
Paul Aslan is the most recent winner of the Paul McDonald Distinguished Teacher Award that we just started recently this year. There was several nominees, and Paul beat out all the other nominees. So congratulations to Paul. It was a great job done by Paul. Paul is, not only does he teach for GCI several nights a week, but also teaches an in-house program for the company that he works for. So he is heavily invested in the training here. He is great at what he does, and I'm glad he's part of the team. So kudos to Mr. Aslan.
Thanks, Paul.
Thanks for all you do.
Thank you.
Any questions for Paul? Anybody? Anything at all? All right, easy crowd today. Easy crowd. All right, so moving on to some of the schedule and supplies now. So we are scheduled to start the school year on September 13th if you're Monday, Wednesday, and Tuesday, September 14th if you're Tuesday, Thursday. So depending on location, classes are scheduled Monday, Wednesday, and or Tuesday, Thursday. Some students are going to school 4 nights a week to either make up or get caught up. So and the classes are held for 3 hours each day. So it's usually at the discretion of the instructor. They've been 6 to 9, 5:30 to 8:30, 5 to 8. It's all kind of based on the location and the teacher's discretion. Supply-wise, for the virtual classes, students are highly encouraged to use a laptop, a computer, a tablet with a keyboard, and they should have a stable internet connection. Some of the tests are done on the computer, and the tests are not allowed to be done on a cell phone. So cell phones are the least preferable choice of devices. And we do offer rental tablets to those students that need them. Just reach out to Jeff, reach out to anybody here on the staff. We don't want to see anybody go without being able to learn. So we do have rental tablets if anybody needs them. All right, moving on to expectations. All students are expected to be present and ready to begin class promptly at the designated start time. So in order for the instructor to keep this class on schedule, it's expected that each student make a serious effort to attend every class. They should be there ready to learn. It's no different than going to a college class. They should be ready to just jump into class and be ready to go. In order for you to receive full credit for each class, you must be present for the entire class. So showing up late, leaving early, not coming back from lunch, not taking extended breaks is unacceptable. And to receive the full credit for the class, they need to be there for the entire class. Online classes. This past year, through the COVID pandemic, we held all classes were done virtually. I think it was a pretty good success. I think it went over pretty well. I had a lot of instructors and teachers tell me they didn't feel comfortable teaching through Zoom. And now that we're going back to in person, most of them don't want to go back to in person. They want to stay virtually. If you're taking class virtually, the instructors take class attendance at the beginning of each class and then before dismissing the class. If it's done virtually, the students can be muted, but students must leave the video on the entire instruction time unless there's a need for privacy. We understand, you're in your house, you don't want people to see, your situation. However, the boards have required that the cameras stay on the entire time. The instructor can unmute those who have questions. Students can also write the questions or comments in the chat box, which can be read by the instructor. We do record the classes. We do record the chats. We do save all that, and we do use that. So it's important that the students stay on the camera and use the chat as much as possible. Attendance reports are sent at the end of each month to the students and or the company. So if you're a company and you're paying for your employees, we do send the attendance reports out to the companies at the end of each month. Progress reports are sent out and gone over with each student in December. So each instructor, each teacher will have a progress report about each particular student. They'll go over those one-on-one with each student. And certificates of completion are not issued unless each student has signed and returned the progress report, has been paid in full, and has signed the enrollment agreement. We're going to go over that in a few minutes. Lots to digest there. Any questions? Anybody have anything they want to talk about? Nothing. Quiet group today. Quiet. All right, so the GCI curriculum, we use the NCCR curriculum, which stands for the National Center for Construction Education and Research. And it was developed with more than support from more than 125 construction CEOs and various association and academic leaders. So GCI did not create the curriculum. We use curriculum put together by the NCCR, and it's great because it shares a common goal of developing a safe and productive workforce. So these companies created a standardized training and credentialing program for the industry. It's known throughout the country and around the world. A lot of people use it. It's a progressive program. It involves more than 70 craft areas and a complete series of more than 70 assessments offered over 6,000 accredited training and assessment locations across the US. So we do that in all 12 locations that we have. It developed a standardized construction and maintenance curriculum and an assessment with portable credentials. Portable, you can bring it with you. So if you go through the NCCR curriculum and you successfully pass everything, you can bring that with you no matter where you go. These credentials are tracked through the registry system and allows organizations, companies like people that are hearing this, to track the qualifications of their craft professionals. So a lot of people, what they do is they say, have you done the NCCR training? And then you're allowed, you can go on the registry system and see if they've completed all the training. It's also assists craft professionals by maintaining their records in a secure database. NCCR's workforce development process of accreditation, instructor certification, standardized curriculum, and the registry using the assessment and certification is a key component in the industry's workforce development efforts. We've already put several of our instructors through that process, and they are becoming NCCR certified instructors. So it's a great process. They learn a lot, and they're able to make the classes better. All right, up there on the screen now is the upcoming school year. Disclaimer, some of the dates are subject to change, but you'll see there that we're going to do student orientations. In the past, have done by the instructors in class. We're going to take that off the teachers' plates and just do a more thorough student orientation by the GCI staff. That'll take place in August. We're also going to have business orientations on August 19th and September 2nd. And then the teacher orientation, same thing, will be third week of August, subject to change. I know teachers want to go on vacation, so we may have to move that around a bit, but that's when the orientations will take place. You'll see there in September, school's scheduled to begin that 13th and 14th, right around there. If you're Monday, Wednesday. Last year we started before Labor Day, and there was a little bit of a confusion, so we're just going to wait till after Labor Day. If you're a teacher out there, we'll do some professional development in October. There'll be a break in December, same thing, so we can have some professional development, talk about how the year's going, what to expect moving forward. Progress reports go out to the students around the 17th of December. They should be brought back to the, sent back to the school right there on January 24th. We'll go back to, there'll be a 3-week break there in December. And then in January, their classes will start back up again. And then all leads to the end of school, probably the last week of April, first week of May. The later we start school, the later we go. So we're trying to, we'd like to be done by the end of April, beginning of May timeframe.
Hey, Mike.
Yep.
Could I interject one thing, going back to the NCCR real quickly? Just this might be a good thing to share with folks on the call. And that is, anyone out there that has would possibly consider teaching. If you're an expert in a trade that you currently have a journeyman license, and or someone in your organization that you think is a candidate to be a really good teacher because they know their craft so well, and they may be a supervisor, a crew leader, and have some experience in teaching and mentoring. With the new NCCR program certification, it's a great opportunity to teach people in the trades how to be teachers, because you may know your craft, but you may be hesitant because you don't think you know how to teach. And I think, anyone else can chime on. You and Diane have done a great job with these teachings. Steve as well has gone through this himself. It gives you kind of like a little toolbox of, how to take what so well as your craft and how to translate that to teaching students. So I'd like to encourage people to think about that and share that information along. It could be a deciding factor that someone that's teetering on the brink of deciding whether or not to teach or not, knowing that resource is available could give you peace of mind to think about making the jump to teach. I don't know if anybody else has any comments on how that helps give you that confidence.
And we're always looking for qualified teachers. So if you have an employee that works for you and was looking to get back to the trade or make some extra money, working for the Gould is a great way to do it. The pay is competitive. The hours are great. It's a good way to to make some extra money if you're trying to retire and you want to give back. So it's great. Always looking for new teachers. So please, if you know someone, please reach out. How we doing? Anybody have anything they want to talk about the schedule at all? All right, so moving on. The grading policy. So students will be graded in the following categories. They have to attend the class, they have to take tests and quizzes and successfully pass those tests and quizzes, and the class performance, whether they're virtually or in person, they need to be participating and engaged. If you're a student and your employer is paying for your classes, then your certificate will be sent to the employer. The employer is paying for the class, so they'll get the certificate. If you have any issues or questions about verification of the hours, please call the office. We're here to make sure you successfully go through the school and get your hours. And again, just a reminder that certificates of completion will not be sent until the tuition has been paid in full by the student or their employer. The enrollment agreement has been signed and the progress report has been returned to the office. All right. One of the things we started last year, this past school year, was students were given access to the online document management system. It's kind of like a digital wallet or like a digital filing cabinet for the students, like an online portal. I'm going to show you what the portal looks like. It's a system that allows the students to sign enrollment agreements, school policy, and have a place to keep or store their important documents. In the past, we had to generate a enrollment agreement, drive it out to the school, show it to the student. The student had to sign it, had to bring it back to the school, and then bring it back out to them. With the whole COVID thing and the 21st century, we're able to put an online portal together so that the students have access to that 24/7. This is kind of what the portal looks like. They have a student information page, they have an online class participation policy, and then they have the enrollment agreement that they can sign. I'll show you what it looks like here. It's got your name, your address, the total charges for the school. All this will be on there. Talks all a bit about the enrollment agreement. What happens if you terminate, what happens if you quit the program. And then electronically, you can just sign your name, put your initials. Here's my signature. Today's date. Someone from the school will sign it, and then they'll initial. So instead of chasing down students, going back and forth, bringing paperwork out to the school, we can all do it electronically now. So this is pretty important. And you can also upload things like your OSHA card, training certificates, all the different training certificates. And this is something that the student will have forever. So they don't have to worry about saving filing cabinets in their house. They can do everything on it. So and they can also chat with the staff here. So that's important, right?
Yeah. Great place to put those OSHA certificates, hot work certificates, and all that stuff that students collect.
Yep. So as a student, when you sign up and register, you'll be given access to all this. And if you're a student listening right now, and you may hear the instructors tell you to go online and sign stuff, electronically sign your different policies, the online policies, participation policies. It's very important that you do not unsubscribe from getting message on here so that we can send you messages through here. So that's how we communicate, right? It's 2021. We communicate electronically. So whether it be a text message or an email or something like that, please don't unsubscribe. It makes it hard to get a hold of you, to send things to you, send requests to you. So it's important to make sure you're staying on top of that. Any questions on the online document system? All right, moving on. One of the things that we do in December is the instructors and the teachers will put together a progress report for each individual student. And there's two requirements. Are they meeting the requirements or they're not meeting the requirements? So this particular student, Fred Jones, the teacher is Joe Smith. The teacher put down there's a great student, is engaged, always on time. And then we put down the test scores. And I'm going to encourage the teachers next year to go over each of the progress reports with their students so the student knows where they stand, whether they're not participating, they're always late. And I think it's important that we send these out to the companies if they're paying for the education, because I think it's important that the companies know what the students are doing, right? So if your student is not paying attention, isn't taking it seriously, isn't engaged, isn't taking the tests, when you send that student to take the state test, there's a good chance they're not going to pass. If they don't take their education serious, they're not going to take the state test serious. All right. Anybody have any questions on the progress reports? All right, I'm going to turn it over to Diane now. She's going to talk about the enrollment agreement and what's expected of the students as far as the agreement goes. Diane.
Great. Thanks, Mike. So again, this is going to be done through the Diamond document management system. So we don't have the back and forth, but each student is emailed the directions and how to do it. The enrollment agreement gives them the course they're in, the location, their name, gives them how many clock hours they'll get for the program, their tuition fees, book fees, shop fees, and the total amount that needs to be paid. And then who's paying for it, whether it's the personal check or credit card or the employer's paying for it. Then it goes into the refund law. Again, at different times of the year, if you formally withdraw with a written notification to the school, there's at different points that you can get different amounts of the refund back. Again, if you wish to terminate, it does need to be in writing, and there is a form on the website and in the student handbook that you can fill out to have that done. But again, it does need to be in writing, and then from that date, you'll get a proportion of the tuition refunded. Again, on the back to the enrollment agreement itself, it says there's a section there talks about the refund and the calculation, and the purple box just says that he's got his student handbook and his textbook. He needs to initial and date there, knows that he got all that stuff, and how to, there's a complaint that needs to be filed against either the school or the procedure, where they can go for that to the Department of Occupational Private School. And then the bottom, you can have the right to cancel this at any time, again, in writing, and here's your refund. Then the student signs it, and then Julie or a school representative signs the bottom, and then it's back in this electronic copy in the student's online document management system for them to review if they need to. But again, the companies should know that each student is signing this for them.
In regards to the withdrawal, if you guys also didn't want to go to the website or something like that, you could also get in touch with any of the staff and we can get you that form to withdraw a student, whether they've been terminated or they quit or whatever the case might be.
Excellent. And again, just repeat, if you're a company that's on the call right now and you're sending employees and one of those employees is terminated or discharged for any reason, please let the school know immediately so that we will let that student know that, he either needs to pay for his education, but he won't be able to continue going to the class anymore because, his employment's been terminated.
It's also important for that employer to communicate to their employee that's no longer with them that the school tuition could become their responsibility should they wish to continue. Right.
Excellent. That was great. Anybody have any questions on the enrollment agreement? Seems pretty cut and dry, but when school's time starts, things start happening pretty quick, and then, employees are not there anymore and they're trying to attend class. So we're trying to make sure we get all that covered. So. All right, moving on. All right, I'm going to turn over to Allison Jackson. She will talk a bit about social media.
Thanks, Mike. So like I said, I am responsible for all of the social media, all of the outreach. So we have all of our handles listed here. We're on YouTube. We're mostly active on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter right now, as well as our LinkedIn is getting up and running too. Our Instagram, we do some giveaways every so often. We do them randomly. So if you don't follow us, definitely follow us. We've given away 2 prize packs with merch. We gave away a hat and a shirt and a mask. And so everybody that is in this meeting that registered is in a raffle to win one of these prize packs with some ABC and GCI merch. So we'll pull that right at the end. So make sure you stay here after the end of this presentation. We will let you know who won. And also, if you're not subscribed to our emails, definitely be sure to subscribe to those. If you're not sure how to do that, feel free to just shoot me an email after this and I can add you myself. It's no problem. We also do some giveaways on the emails as well, and a lot of important information goes out in those emails. So if you want to know what's going on with us, definitely make sure to get on there. And if you have any questions about our social media or anything that you'd like to see, feel free to shoot me an email as well. I'm always looking for more content, new, fresh, and relevant stuff.
I think also too, we'd love to hear your feedback. There's been some significant changes to the GCI website, the registration process. So Allison is constantly working on upgrading that to make it more efficient, user-friendly, and make sure that it has content and information to make your lives easier, whether it's registering a student or trying to find resources. So I encourage everyone to, this is a tool for you to use as well. So if there's things on there that you feel should be added, or you've got some questions on the navigational flow, I'm sure Allison would love to hear it. So we appreciate the
Absolutely.
feedback.
Thanks, Julie. Yeah, any feedback about the website, there's no, negative or positive. If you're having an issue, please let me know. I don't know if there's a problem if I don't hear about it. And, as long as I can, get your feedback, I'm happy to work with you and fix any issues or help to clarify any issues that you may be having. Does anybody have any questions about the website, about our social media, our emails, any outreach that we do? Anything like that?
Nice job.
And it's also important to, if you're an employer on the call or an employee on the call, as an employer, we do, it's the 21st century. So we use social media to talk to the students. So same thing with if it's a class cancellation, we don't call every student and let them know there's no class. We'll send a text message or an email. So make sure that we have current information as far as contact information, email addresses, phone numbers. A lot of times there's last minute snow cancellations, or a teacher gets sick and I can't find a substitute. We'll send a text message. If we don't have current up-to-date information, the student doesn't realize, they log in or they go to the school, there's no class, they're going to get upset. So making sure that they understand the importance of updating contact information. And we do communicate through social media and, just electronically. And so we can't call 900 students and let them know that there's no class tonight because of the snowstorm. So making sure we have current contact information is important.
Definitely. And any employers that are on here, if you'd like a link to send out to your employees that are in school with us or interested in coming to get their education with us, I can send you a link so that you can send that out for them to subscribe and give us their current information. If they're already in our system, then they can just go in there with the same link and update with their new information. So if anybody needs that, my email is allison@gwgci.org.
All right, so moving on. So just staying on that same theme about communicating electronically. This is the website address is GWGCI for the George W. Gould Construction Institute. And then I'm going to take everybody to the student resource page real quick so you can kind of see what it looks like. And like I said, so we communicate electronically, right? So here's the student resource page. There's the application for the Building Our Future Scholarship, which was great. Allison does the newsletter. She posts that up there. Recent updates from GCI, important email updates. We put all the student resources. So if one of your employees says, I don't know what they're talking about, it wasn't in the handbook is on there. Course catalog from last year is on there. Some student tips before testing, the enrollment agreement. And then if your students or as an employee have any questions about licensing requirements, it's all on the student resource page. This isn't 1945 where we have a bulletin board and we stack things to the bulletin board, right? So this is like a digital bulletin board. And then all of our contact information is on here. Due to the pandemic, we are working remote. We're in the office a couple days a week, most of us. Here's a way to get a hold of us. But this is the student resource page. Lots of information on here. So if as an employer or if you're a student, this is the place to go to find out what's going on as a student at GCI. All right. Any questions about the student resource page? And it's important to remind everybody that it is a responsibility of the student and or the employer to be up to date on all license requirements per the individual skilled trade board. So make sure that you're checking the websites of your individual board for any updates or changes. All right, and it's also important, right? So if you want to know more about a career in construction, GCI also has this electronic career path. I'll take you on real quick. You can kind of see what a career path looks like. So if you're a student here and you're not sure if you're going to go with Gould, or if you're an employee or an employer, this is a great website you can go to. So it's a great marketing tool that we use. So if you're in junior high school and you go to a technical high school, it talks about the different programs you can get into, what the program costs if you went to a post-grad tech school, what to expect if you went to the unlicensed trade, right? So you get 30,000 a year, 40,000 a year. Let's say if you went to a formal apprenticeship, you might make 40,000 a year. And then if you go on from there, you become a foreman or a master tradesman. This is the salary, the average salary of someone going through that program. So it's a great little website here. You can click on it. It's the gouldconstruction.org. And it's got a lot of information you can also share with your employees, your employers. If you're a parent, not sure, what to do with your high school kid and what to do next, the construction trade and anything doing with construction is growing right now. So it's a great thing to get into. All right, and then Julie's going to talk about the scholarship program real quick for anybody that is interested.
Thanks, Mike. Yes, so for those of you that are not aware, ABC Mass does have a scholarship program, Building Our Future Scholarship, and it's open to students pursuing a career in construction. The deadline is June 25th, and there's opportunities for, if you know of anyone of a student that is pursuing a career in construction and is having difficulty paying the tuition, this is a great program where they have an opportunity to obtain the scholarship to help supplement their income. And we're excited about this because it's an opportunity for GCI students as well to help them on their career path. And this year it's even more special because there'll be 2 recipients, hopefully, if we have one in electrical and sheet metal, that will be in memory of 2 very special teachers that used to work for GCI that are no longer have unfortunately passed away. Paul McDonald, who was an electrical instructor for years out at the Springfield location, and then Elliot Cantor, who taught sheet metal from 5th year and helped many of our students, through the whole process of getting their sheet metal license, as well as Paul helping the electrical students. So these 2 instructors were just held in very high regard. Students loved them, colleagues, other fellow instructors. They were mentors to many of our existing instructors that are in teachers that are in place now. So 2 very special awards. And I think they both would be very, very proud and happy to see a student in a trade that they were so passionate about and committed to teaching. So I thank ABC for allowing this opportunity for us and for our students. So thank you. And for more information, you can certainly go on to the GCI website, onto the student resource page, or click directly onto the ABC website to get more information about the application. Thanks. Thank you, Mike.
Excellent. Yeah, it's a great, again, as the school grows, I think it was great that we honor the memory of Paul McDonald and Elliot Cantor, 2 longstanding instructors here, teachers here for Gould. So that's great. Anybody have any questions or comments about the scholarship? All right, and then if you have any questions and you don't want to answer, ask them now, we can always take it offline. So there's the office phone number. And the best way to get a hold of any of us here is always with an email. We do check voicemails quite often. So Julie's name and number, Diane's name and number, my name and number is on there if you need me for anything, as well as Allison's. And we also have Jeff's contact information, Crystal and Heather's. All right, and then just to wrap it up now. So why would you choose the Gould Construction Institute to be your training provider? Again, we've been around since 1983. We're not, didn't just start yesterday. So we've been around for a long time. Gould Institute has trained over 30,000 people in the last, since 1983. We are respected in the skilled trades community. Again, we've been around for a long time. Our teachers have been around with us for a while. And we have a staff that cares about not only your education, but your employees' education. All right. Any questions for anybody? I know we talked about a lot here. We covered a lot, but a lot of people in the room here, a lot of knowledge in the room. Anybody have any questions?
They're not meant to, they're not, people aren't on mute because they've been set that way, have they?
No, they can unmute themselves.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure.
I don't want anybody, I don't want any questions. Just let me talk and don't ask questions.
Did
kidding.
you do that as a control thing, Mike?
There is the chat. So let's see if we got the chat here. Gary, welcome, Gary. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate you being here. Louisa, thank you very much for coming. Appreciate it. But we're always available if anybody has any questions. I mean, you don't have to stick around if you don't want to, but appreciate everybody coming out to the first virtual open house. Was it pretty
Yeah,
good?
just before everyone hops off, let me just pull this winner for our
Yep, we're gonna pull a winner for the Gould swag.
All right, let's
ABC
see.
swag.
I'm spinning my wheel of names now.
And while Allison's doing that, I also want to just let you know that we would appreciate your feedback and your comments. Since this is our first open house, we tried to do our best to give you an overview of what we do and everybody's responsibilities. But if there's something that we could be more informative or you have questions about, please reach out to us and let us know.
Or something we didn't cover
Right.
that you're still
Confused about or questions.
We will do another open house probably later in the summer. See how this goes over and see how this is received, and if it's something that more people want to attend. We got 25 people in the first session and 25 in the second session, so this is great. Hopefully we're able to answer some questions for people.
All right, and our winner for our swag bag is Stacy Holyoke from Bald Hill Builders. Yay!
Congratulations.
Woohoo!
Stacy, I'll reach out to get your information on sizes and stuff. So just I will email you after this.
Great,
Congratulations.
thank you.
All right, thanks everybody. This will wrap it up. If anybody, we'll stay on for a few minutes if anybody wants to stay on and ask questions.